Now, some people living on new housing estates, as we've been hearing this morning in the county, are paying unfair fees for the upkeep of the estate that they live on. It's been described by MPs as a scandal, but it is legal. One of the estates affected by these so-called hidden charges is Wyndham Park in Yeovil. Tony Chambers lives on the estate and is the chairman of Wyndham Park Community Association.
There's around about 800 houses on the estate. Only 671 properties are being charged. So we would like the £150 back, security deposit. They bill us as a utility company and try and put some cap on their fees. The first year it went up around about I think it was about 83%.
Halima Ali is from the campaign group Homeowners Rights Network, and Andrew Whittaker is from the Home Builders Federation, which represents private sector home builders in England and Wales. Halima, I'm going to speak with you first. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with me. What rights do homeowners have?
Well, depending on whether you're a leaseholder or a freeholder, we're seeing that for freeholders in particular, there are no rights. We've got no rights to hold these managing agents to account. We've got no rights to question the service charge, or, if the fees are increasing, we're just being asked that we have to pay, and we're being threatened with debt collection if we refuse, or, it's nothing short of legalised robbery, basically.
Well, I mean, that is obviously what many developers will fall back on. What they're doing is legal. How do you argue against that?
Well, it's a very shrewd system that these developers have set up, which is a monopoly, because we, as homeowners, if we're not happy with a service that we are being asked to pay for, we do not have the right to change the managing company, to get a better managing company in place that will actually provide the service that we are paying for. And to answer your question, is basically hard-working families who are lining the pocket of some very rich, shrewd people who are exploiting homeowners. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay, Halima, stay on the line. I'm going to go to Andrew. As I say, Andrew Whittaker, who is from the Home Builders Federation, which represents private sector home builders in England and Wales. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Do you have an answer to that point there that Halima's just made?
Well, of course, when developers set up these management companies, it's not their first choice. It would always be better for open space and facilities to be adopted by the local authority or the local parish council, and that's what developers try and do. Now, sometimes that's not possible because a lot of local authorities, because of budget cuts, don't want to take on that liability. Now, these open spaces and facilities need to be maintained, and the only thing left to the developer is therefore to set up a management company to maintain these open spaces.
So that's the reason, because many will be asking, well, why can these management payments be justified when people are technically homeowners?
Well, that's true, but of course all homeowners, when they buy their home, get legally represented by a conveyancer or a solicitor, and all of this is explained in the contract, and what we need to do is make that much clearer to people as to what the facilities are and how they've been set up to manage these spaces. But of course everyone wants managed. It's really important that we maintain open spaces and community facilities in development.
Okay. Halima, looking at advice that you would give to somebody buying a new house on a new estate, what would you say to somebody listening now?
I would say make sure you're well informed and do your research thoroughly, because if you're buying yourself into a system that's unregulated, that's where the fees are uncapped, and where you're asking for trouble, aren't you? Do you really want to be trapped in a situation where you've got no protection or legislation to, cover you from being exploited?
And Andrew, finally, I guess really, as we've heard from Tom earlier on in Yeovil, there is this line, okay, if it's legal, if it's in the small print, you can't argue against it. But fundamentally, is it fair? Do you think it was fair for homeowners to be described as victims as a scandal? Is it fair that they should be having to go through all of this?
Well, these fees are for a purpose. They're there to maintain community facilities and public open space, which everyone on the estate benefits from. So, yes, of course, they're fair.
OK, thank you very much. Any thoughts if you live in an area and you feel you are being thumped by this, get in touch at Clair Carter at bbc.co.uk.